Onesies, a podcast of one season wonders and blunders. My name's Andrew.
My name's Emily.
And we are back discussing the 13 episode 1995 CBS sitcom High Society, starring at least four-time Emmy Award winner Jean Smart. I think she's won every season of Hacks.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah. And it's been 4 seasons. So Jean Smart and Mary McDonnell, who has probably been nominated for an Emmy, if not won something. And we do get a bunch of guest stars this episode that Emily's probably not excited about, but I will comment on them when we get there.
On this episode, there were guest stars?
Yeah, there were guest stars. There were
people that I should know?
One of them, it would have been cool if you knew. The other one, it would have been funny if you knew. Yes, we're on episode 4 entitled Tomb with a View. This episode stands out because not only is Mom back, which we were looking forward to, but...
Oh boy, that was a disappointment.
That was a disappointment. I actually blame Mary McDonnell. I mean, the script, but also Mary McDonnell's comic timing is seemingly getting worse, which is incredible. But this episode, Tomb with a View, it also is going to feature what's Faith Prince's character's name?
Val.
Val will... Is it the pre-commercial scene? Or is it the pre-credit scene? Or is it post-credits?
No, it's post-credits.
Oh, God, that's right. The pre-commercial scenes... The scene that Emily was telling me was so good that she used to do all the time, where they get a picture, they go out and buy a magazine of some made-up rich lady to make fun of how her implants look in this photo shoot, because women should hate women.
So in AFAB, this is something that they would do.
Okay.
Except it would be it's funny, yeah, except it would be a real person. I think they make fun of Jane Fonda and her bumps. And, she's going to be when she's dead, she's going to be skin and bones and bumps. Or she's going to be bones and bumps. And it's funnier than some made-up person that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
Because I think there's... Because I think there's...
stupid.
It's stupid, but in the AFAB version, what makes it funnier is that, like she owes me money she owes me money because I've worked out to her videos and I'm never going to look like her. And also she's had plastic surgery. Like it's more of a comment on the fitness industry and that. But it is, yes, making fun of women. But they do that with the Kardashians. They do that later, much, much later.
Okay.
They do that with...
Well, also, I mean, yes,
Twiggy.
but it is also in the context of making fun of a real person and narrativizing and including, I mean, it then becomes a commentary on the behavior as a reflection of reality versus on this, where since it's a made-up person, it's like a loathsome... I feel like this show also could have been made by young Republican girls with their dad helping them a lot.
Yeah.
By girls, I mean teenagers for some terrible, a terrible TikTok series. I could say something here that Emily would have to cut.
Thank you for not doing that.
Okay, fine. I won't say it, but damn, I just had a great... I think somebody's got 2 daughters. Anyway, moving on. So then we come back to that after the opening.
We come back to it, and they're looking at this magazine like a flip book. They're flipping back and forth as if the photos are printed in chronological order in some way, shape, or form, which is stupid and ludicrous. But then Val comes in. And they're having a blast tearing this woman to shreds about her implants. Then Val comes in and she is in a skirt suit and she is covered in flour and just food stuff. I think that you can see lettuce and tomatoes on her. And she has been fired from her job at Le Petit Burger that she got at the end of last episode because she told the chef that his burgers were too small, even though it's called Le Petit Burger. She tried to put more burger, put a bigger burger together. They tussled on the ground. I was hoping it was going to turn into some like we had a torrid romance and I got fired. But no, she just got fired for imposing herself on the chef. And she goes upstairs and we never see her again.
Never see her again. We don't have to see the sun.
She almost is funny in this, in that she's like huffing and puffing around and like she the physicality has changed on her in this
Mm,
episode just a little bit. And so yeah. Uh then mom comes in, Alice, Dot's mom,
yeah.
and she's wearing all black. And Ellie makes some joke about, oh, did you bury another husband? And she's like, no, but I did just come from a funeral. The bitch who lives next door uh, finally kicked the
Oh
can.
yeah, this I forgot. Oh God, I forgot because of the boob thing, the boob job thing. We then get this description of how this older adult tragically dies during a massage. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
canon tragically, because we are going to then establish that every single person who lives in this building is a terrible human being and should die terrible deaths.
Yeah.
But we then get this lengthy description filled with whatever losers were in the studio audience laughing at it. Where basically like the body is covered in massage oil, and so it slides off the table, it goes downstairs, and all sorts of stuff. And then the punchline is, "Good thing she was dead." And you loved that part.
I didn't
You
love
loved
it.
it.
I didn't love it, but it's the delivery because she and Dot are kind of going back and
Yeah.
forth again, like they normally do, and that rhythm gets sets up
She
this story,
uses
and it is told in a funny way, in a way that
Jane
is funny
Meadows.
and reminiscent of AbFab, even.
Jane Meadows is still far better than, I mean, even some of the disposable guest stars are technically far better than Mary McDonnell and Jean
Yeah,
Smart.
yeah.
Like, but in this one, the other weird thing is they have, in addition to removing the sun and
David Rash isn't in it.
David. Oh, I forgot David Rash wasn't in it. So, in addition to removing the sun, David Rash, and Val for most of it, they also remove the overt boozing. They
Hmm.
refer to it, but we do not see them getting sloshed on screen.
No, there's a scene though where she makes a martini for herself, Dot, toward
Yes.
toward the end.
Yes. Okay. So we then are going to find out this apartment in this very exclusive building is available, and Ellie wants it. We get a little more backstory. Ellie is very rich, richer than more than rich enough to move into the building. I don't know if we actually. I think maybe Dot says she's richer than you to her mom, but it's new money, not old money, and so she can't get
Right.
into this building that is decorated like a 19 like a Poverty Row 1945 film version of a nice apartment. We'll
Yeah.
eventually see.
It looks like
It's,
Rosemary's Baby apartment. That's what it looks
yeah,
like. Big, beautiful wood paneling, like fancy wood paneling, actual wood
yeah.
paneling, not like wood paneling from when I grew up, when and where I grew up.
Okay. So, do we immediately cut to the building?
So, there's conversation not only about how it's new money, but about how the people are going to hate her,
Yeah.
because she will not fit in with them. And then I think we cut
Okay.
straight to the apartment. Maybe there's a commercial
So,
break. I don't remember.
yeah.
But
The characterization of Ellie is very different this episode too, in a way, because she's temperamental, but not in the same way. She's lost her confidence, which is very interesting to see. It's not surprising, like, that they would throw the character around like this with no concern. And I mean, hey, it's got a woman credit for the writer from the writer's room, and it's that Iris Dubo directing again, poorly. So
It's what I find really odd is Ellie really wants to move into this building, wants to this the prestige that comes along with it. And Dot is supportive but not supportive. She knows otherwise. She knows better, right? Like they're going to hate you. It's not, but she doesn't actually do anything at this point to help guide her through the process.
no, which is very strange.
Very strange. At some point, she's like, I would never come and visit you. Like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to be around those people. I would never come and visit you. But they're also like besties. So why wouldn't she help her bestie get this apartment? Also, since when are authors that rich? I guess she's sort of like the Danielle Steele, even though they mentioned Danielle Steele, she exists in this universe. But she's got a similar, like, I don't know how wealthy Danielle Steele is. They made movies, whatever. They don't talk about any of that, selling movie rights to these trash romance novels. So, like, I just don't know how many
think
authors
about
there are.
we not to get too. I mean, you're familiar with an author who releases 6 books a year and has a literal compound of writers working for them. And
Yeah.
that person got started in this era. And I mean, Stephen King thinks that he can control, he's wealthy enough to control the fate of the Union, though he never came through on any of that.
But there are so few of those.
She's
people.
supposed to be one of them, I guess. Okay. I mean,
It's just,
even though the problem with that is the show doesn't have the budget to show. I mean, I don't even know if in the, I mean, yes, there were, starting in the 70s, you would have your nighttime soaps that would have the ostentatious displays of wealth. This show doesn't have budgets like that, but it also has not shown us like the mock-ups of her book titles. There are no display copies of her books at the publishers, which is highly unlikely. I think there's a poster in the pilot, but we've never seen it, or not the pilot, the episode with the husband, which might be.
We also very rarely see them out in public. Like we've seen at luncheons, but that's like an author luncheon. So we don't even see like people interacting with her, like fans interacting with her.
No, it's very, I mean, it's very, this will be the nicest thing I say about it. It's very frugal.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, clearly they are, trying to convince the full order, which they do not get. But I mean, also Val's gone in a couple episodes. So are we going to get a grand finale with her, or is she just going to be one of those supporting players who disappears into the background and then away? So that's kind of interesting. I don't know that it's interesting enough to watch the fucking show for, Emily, but okay. So here we get the meeting of the board at the apartment. If you want to see this done well, there's a Frasier Thanksgiving episode where they're trying to get the son into a school. Very funny, great BB Newirth. Sadly, she returned to the show after Kelsey Grammer confirmed that he is a fascist enthusiast. So no respect there. David Hyde Pierce, at least, did not. He was like the only one who didn't come back. Anyway, can you bring up the guest star list so
I have
discuss? Okay, so Constance Towers was also on a Frasier episode.
Okay,
she was a recurring Sam Fuller player. She was in The Naked Kiss. She was the lead in The Naked Kiss, and she was the girlfriend in Shock Corridor. And so in the mid-90s, she sort of came back as a hot post-menopausal lady type. banged Frasier, which lucky girls of the 90s. You got tossed between Kelsey Grammer, Jerry Seinfeld, and Jason Alexander. Wow, David Schwimmer really must have been a step up. Okay, so he's there, but also what's his name? Is his name Steve Vinovich?
Steve Vinovich is Jock.
Steve Vinovich is he's one of the bad guys in Mannequin. He owns the rival department store.
Oh.
Yeah. So I would have kind of expected you to maybe recognize the Sam Fuller, but in my heart of hearts, I was like, I really want to find out this is where Emily's secretly a Mannequin fan and just hasn't told me. And we could have been bonding over this for years.
I saw Mannequin. I watched it.
Anyway, okay, so they have this meeting, and there's two other people there. Or three other people, because the main guy's name is like Odds or something. Didn't recognize him.
Richard Rote.
Yeah. He's got a wife who's there, and then there's another woman there who Ellie makes fun of. So from jump, she's making fun of the names because they all have silly names. Like, at some point during this, I was just like, dude, Caddyshack 2 is so much better than this in its personification of wealth. Like, good God. And I mean, but that was Robert Stack and somebody else. So, like, there was some base level competency there of being able to deliver your lines. But we're going to have like this interview that Ellie makes sex jokes during, and
it's like she didn't hear anything that Dott's told her. Like,
no,
they're not going to like you. You can't.
Or Dot's mom, because Dot's mom is like, you can't fucking move in there. You're a piece of shit.
Yeah. And it's like she doesn't believe them. She doesn't care. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. Like, she really wants it. And it's all whatever her intentions are, which are all completely shallow. It doesn't undermine the fact that she really wants to live there. So why wouldn't she ask questions, try to put her best foot forward, all of these things that regular people, because she grew up in Pittsburgh or wherever she grew up, she's a regular person, would know you would have to do. It's like code switching for poor people,
Right.
Like, why doesn't she know how to do that? She does know how to do that, but
we've actually never seen her do that, because we've never actually seen her as a public figure. We've only seen her behind the scenes, and it's always terrible. And I also just realized that we won't talk about it at length, but we don't actually see the apartment.
No, we don't.
We have an apartment meeting set that must have been left over from a lawyer show or something. Yeah.
Also, we have to mention that there's a dog that is small and barky.
Oh God, the dog.
Because it comes back.
Do you know who I think that dog is? Is that Eddie from Frasier?
His name is Moose.
That's Eddie from Frasier.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. He was also in. Was he in As Good as It Gets? Maybe.
Oh yeah, it is Frasier dog.
Yeah, it's Frasier
my dog
dog.
Skip. And
okay, my dog Skip. Yeah.
The 5 Mrs. Buchanan's, one episode. Oh boy.
And then he died, I think. Yeah. So he's a very, like, if you're unfamiliar, the dog did a lot of tricks, and we see the one later, though it's used in the narrative a bit differently.
Yeah.
So yeah, we come in, the dog is biting at the maid's feet, Ellie's feet.
Biting at Ellie's feet. And this is where we get just so close to physical comedy. So close. And all I could think of was, how would Joanna Lumley do this better? That's all I could think.
So, yeah, so we established that. That does not come back in this scene. But also there's a comment that Dott knows the dog, because Dott grew up in this building. So she'll talk about how she escaped these people to go be new money, going out with new money in New York.
Yeah.
Instead of old money, as one does. So we then get we get the interview thing, and even though there's no like thoughtful writing, thoughtful jokes, it goes on forever.
Goes on forever. And they're asking her questions. She's making crass jokes in response. Multiple times, at least 3 times. She's like, I'm killing it. They love me. Like things, she's making comments like that repeatedly. And Dot is just like, oh no, this is going poorly.
So
At the end, they like step aside to confer and come back. And they're like, oh, of course you can't live here. You're trash, essentially. And Ellie is sort of faux outraged and like, I wouldn't live here if you paid me to, blah, blah, blah. They leave the room and she turns to Dot and is like, I have to live here. Oh my God.
such a good show. We also had Mary McDonnell standing up for Dot. This does not, or not Mary McDonnell standing up for Ellie and
Yeah.
calling them snobs. This does not factor in importantly at all. So cool.
Except when she gets her second attempt.
Yes, but that's only kills 26 seconds of screen time. So I'm sure
But
that's how they were thinking.
it sets
Yes.
up the scene.
I'm sure at some
It could
point
be
they would.
so it sets up the scene. Okay, so okay, let's continue. But
Okay, commercial break.
commercial break.
Come back to. Are they just at the apartment?
I think so.
They're at the apartment. This is probably the martini scene. I don't know if she actually has the martini because it's before.
We never
No.
we never see it,
Right.
but she's teaching. So Dot is teaching Ellie how to be sophisticated and how to talk to old money.
After 3 minutes of Ellie begging and Dot saying, "No, I'm not going to help you," and then Ellie being like, "You're supposed to be my best friend." She's like, "Oh, fine, I'll help you." And
And
then
then
she has
she
to.
calls
Yeah.
the main guy, and apologizes
Yeah.
for being so rude to him,
Yes.
which sets up the scene. They're going to give her a second chance to interview for the apartment. And this is where Dot decides she is going to help Ellie by teaching her how to speak. Because when Dot is talking to these old money people, she has sort of this affectation to her voice that's like,
Yes.
oh,
It's a
like,
very 1932 affectation.
yeah,
Like,
it's very weird. And so she's teaching Ellie how to do this. And I think the first thing she does is gives her too big of a spoon of peanut butter to stick to the roof of her mouth to teach her how to talk. And that's when
the martini.
she asks for a martini to wash the peanut butter
Yeah.
down. And Mary McDonald's like, great idea. I'll go make myself a martini. But we never see it.
No.
And then there's like this physical comedy stuff. She's got to walk in flats, which is a silly joke. And she's sort of knobby-kneed, sort of trying to walk around. It's, again, so close to being funny without actually being funny at all.
Yeah.
Again, what would Joanna Lumley do? That's all I was thinking the whole time.
Not sign on to CBS's High Society is what she would do.
And
I don't remember. There's the flats, there's the peanut butter.
And then there's like a where she's being quizzed, like, where do we vacation in the summer? Where do we vacation in the winter?
Yes.
Like, what are our favorite hobbies? What are our pets? Like, where there's like this quizzing and she's being like a petulant child about it, despite wanting this apartment so bad. She's like, I don't want to have to do all this hard work. It's too hard. Meh. But they go to the second interview. Same set. We never get an office. Oh, no, we do get an office scene. We do get
at
an
the
office
end
scene.
For your favorite scene.
And the dog is barking at them again, and
this time the maid doesn't take it out, which is
weird.
So instead,
Ellie starts feeding it chocolate that she's eating. I don't even know where this chocolate came from.
Yeah.
And Dot is like, are you crazy? You're going to kill that dog. And then 2 seconds later, the dog is dead.
Because Moose knows how to do a good flip.
Oh
And
yes.
so,
So, and this is where we highlight the stupid pet trick where it plays dead. It like sits up begging and then falls over.
yeah.
Um, and they have to improvise very quickly because the head guy is coming back in to interview them. And I kind of spaced out at this. They put it in their lap and they're petting it.
Hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, it's nice to see my how quickly my dog has warmed up to you." And then I don't know how he finds out it's dead because I
So they have the interview. Ellie shows him her shoes, and he's impressed by the flats. She does the little voice thing every once in a while.
Mhm.
And he's like, I was totally wrong about you yesterday. You fit right in here. Idiotic.
Yeah, really stupid.
They're
She's
so
already shown her
excited.
true colors. They only interviewed her in the first place, they say, because they wanted to make fun of her. They wanted to find out if she was just as bad as they thought she was, and she was. So like
Yeah.
suddenly turning around and these very like cosmetic changes that she's made. She's also dressed much more conservatively. She's got her hair done in a old money kind of
Yeah.
way.
We do not get, I mean, that should have been like shopping for these terrible clothes, getting that terrible haircut should have been a thing. The
Yeah.
terrible haircut's as close as we get to a joke later on. That is almost, for what they're going for, it's almost funny. Though, yes, the shoes, but that's, you could get
There
away
could
with
have all
that.
there could have been a whole, and again, budget, I get it. There could have been a whole montage of them
Yeah,
going to a farm and petting rich people's horses and going out on a yacht and doing all of these rich
right.
people things, but they never do it.
And there could have been, and I mean, that would have been a thing for Val to come along with, like
Yeah. Or the sun, but
the
who cares?
son. The son really should be around in this episode, like, and he's not, and possibly because anyway. Um, so then they stand up in excitement, and the dog falls on the ground dead.
Yes. Okay.
Um, the dude's horrified, and Ellie's like, "Do I get to move in still, though?" And he's like, "No." And then we cut to commercial and come back in the office. Does that sound right?
Yes. Cut to commercial, office scene. Ellie's devastated.
Ellie's devastated. She's crying. We get Stefano coming in wearing something that's supposed to be silk, and I do not believe it's silk. It is
Yeah,
a,
it's a very brightly colored shirt, button-down shirt with a black tank top underneath it.
yeah.
And it's very tight, halfway unbuttoned, whatever. He's like, "Why is she so upset?" "Oh, it must be her horrible outfit."
Oh, I thought he said it must be that haircut.
I think he said, yeah, I think he says it's the outfit, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then
And
they tell him she didn't get the apartment, and he's like, "Oh, you met with old Toddy." And the ladies insinuate that because Stefano knows him, he is a homosexual man, and he goes to make a phone call, and they're giggling about Toddy being gay, and he comes back and he has secured the apartment for Ellie.
so this is actually less gross than Emily made it sound, in that it's not implied that Stefano's blackmailing him. It's not implied that Stefano
No.
even knows that he has a wife, because they're like, Toddy's gay? Toddy isn't gay. And Stefano's like, oh, he's not? That's weird if he's not. It's just implied that Toddy loves this hot young man and will do favors for him. It's not that he's blackmailing him into giving Ellie the apartment.
I don't think he's blackmailing. Um, I think, I think what it is it speaks to Stefano's influence,
Yes.
whatever way, shape, or form that influence takes.
Yes.
We have seen him making dinner reservations. We've seen
He
him doing
planned
all
a
sorts of
great
things.
luncheon,
He planned the luncheon.
Yeah.
He's got connections somehow, and he can wield his influence over other people. I
Yes.
just like that's all it is. But
But
it
yes, their
is
behavior, well,
left nebulous. Like we don't know
yeah.
what he is doing or saying. He is just in the background.
Yeah, it's like the actor was like, I'm already doing the accent for you. I'm not actually doing that. Like,
Yeah,
there's a line. And they're like, okay, you're going to be in background and they're going to be giggling in foreground. And he's like, that's not going to be in a headshot or that's not going to be in a reel. I don't care what you do with that. So
yeah,
continue.
yeah,
You may do that. And so she gets in and that's it. And then we get Ellie going, ooh, I'm going to make them pay for not letting me in, which is the first time in the episode that she has shown any of the agency that she has shown in the previous three episodes.
yes. I
Otherwise,
think at some point, when in the very short period Val is present, she makes her
yeah,
typical snide comments to Val, but that's it.
she tries to make Val feel bad, but she's too busy um, looking at that fake magazine of the fake boob
Yeah,
job on the fake person,
yeah,
fake boobs on the fake person. So
yeah.
yeah, so again, we have not hit bottom on this show, so that's sort of interesting at this point. Like, how how low are we gonna go?
How low indeed.
What's next?
What is next? I lost the page and now
Okay,
it's taking forever because I looked at that dog and he's on a bunch of other things. The next episode is episode 6. I believe it's Val's last episode.
wait, are
It's
we to
called,
six?
yeah, this is episode 5
Okay.
that we just watched. 6 is
Oh,
next
thank
week.
God. Okay.
Um, The Naked and the Deadline. Don't worry, David Rash is back. Oh, and we meet Tippy von Schlager, whose boob job we made fun of in this episode. Um, but no other special guests. It looks like Ellie has writer's block.
Cool. Is the person playing Tippy von Schlager a notable name?
She looks familiar. Lisa Baines. Let's see what she's been in. She was in Young Guns. That's pretty cool. She was in Cocktail. That's pretty cool. She was in Gone
Oh
Girl.
my
I've never
God.
seen that.
Calm down. Okay. Fucking
She
cocktail
was
and
in The
young guns.
Orville. She was in The Orville.
Well, there, that's enough for me. Okay. Penny, all right, so are we gonna wager on whether or not she actually has fake boobs? Because I bet she doesn't.
I bet she doesn't.
All
I bet
right,
she
well,
doesn't. Well, that
cool.
was fun. I can't wait to watch this with you or
I
talk
can,
about
but cool.
or
We'll do
talk
that
about
next
watching
week.
it with
Yeah.
you. Um, Thank you, folks, for tuning in. We will see you next week when we talk about episode 6 of High Society. Andrew, I'll see you in Television Land.
I'll see you in television land, Emily.